Okay, introducing on my
Okay.
show now. We have a special guest all lined up for you. Bit of a treat. We have RARA. That's RARA on my show. How we doing?
Hello, nice to meet you,
Yeah,
Dan. Hello,
nice to
everybody.
nice to meet you. How are you today? And how's your day going? And can you just tell me and my listener a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Oh, well, I'm having a lovely day. I mean, it's trying to get a bit of sun in England, isn't
Mhm.
it? But it seems to be a bit temperamental. But no, I've been moving house, so it's a bit stressful. However, it's nice to be in a nice new house, and I'm a singer-songwriter. I've just released a single called Sweet Hurricane, and a music video which is doing extremely well on YouTube, so thank you very much, everybody. So yeah, go and check it out. It sounds like Rara.
Brill, Brill. Welcome, Rara, to the show. And was music always the path or the route you always wanted to make? And when did you first realize you wanted to take music seriously?
I think I was probably about 3 or 4 years old. I was dancing around in the back garden with the tape cassette. Remember those?
Oh yeah.
And I always loved the divas. So I loved Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Aretha Franklin, Dionne Warwick, and all those soul singers as well. I really got into gospel growing up as well. So you can hear a bit of that soul gospel in my
Mm.
music. Um, and yeah, I think I just live, breathe. Um, it's in my blood, music. So um, I don't think I can imagine doing anything
Yeah.
else really, unless it's to do with dogs. I love dogs.
Oh, that's fabulous. Yeah, I do remember like the cassettes, like back in the day. We always had to make do with cassettes because we just found CDs so expensive. You could buy a cassette for 99 pence, and then the CD was like £4. Pocket money. The
Yeah,
cassette, obviously was good back in the day. Had its uses.
I know, but I've got a vinyl record player now. Vinyl's come back in, so
Yeah,
that's brilliant because that kind of matches my influence in my music, which
yeah.
is very 60s influence and the vintage retro, that kind of Amy Winehouse definitely
Yeah.
vibe. So I'm pleased that vinyl's back because I love vinyl, don't you?
Mm. Yeah, the crackly feeling and putting the needle on
Love
it.
it.
Yeah, great. And
Yeah.
I remember like Back to Black. I can picture the album, the sleeve with Amy.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's an iconic album in itself, isn't it?
Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Sorry.
Yeah, the vinyl Back to Black. Has that been an inspiration on just yourself and your music?
Yeah, I mean, I love Amy Winehouse. I think she's just a fabulous songwriter and lyricist. I mean, I pretty much dissected her music. So she has a heavy influence. She had that kind of 60s retro vibe going on as well. Um, I mean, with my music, I have a heavy influence of soul. So that takes you way back to, like Ann Peebles and I love a bit of Joss Stone. I love a bit of Beverly Knight, Tina Turner. And I think, I've mixed it all in the big cake and
Mm.
I've come out with Rara. So,
Very good. I
yeah,
know
it's going well.
the 2000s were a great time for that era, bringing it back, like Duffy, even the
Yeah,
likes of, oh, what's her name? Uh, There's like quite a few around that time, Paloma Faith, maybe, early Paloma
that's
Faith.
right.
With that tone.
Actually, my next single, which is going to be on September the 6th, it's called It's Not Fair. I wrote that song with the guy who wrote Stone Cold Sober.
Yes.
So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so there is a bit of a connection there with me
Mm.
and Paloma Face. So I'm really excited about that one. I'm starting on the video in maybe 2 weeks' time. So that's going to be fantastic. So I have to
Right.
come back on your show and talk about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, sure. So your latest single now, at the moment is a great contender. It's called The Sweet Hurricane. Can you tell me just a little bit more about this single, like the backstory and so on?
Okay, so Sweet Hurricane is about, those moments leading up to having a fight with your partner. It's having a bit of an argument with your partner in quite toxic relationships. So um it's those very awkward moments of like, you know, are you going to say something, and are we just going to, let's just get over with it? And you're very much in love as a couple, but when you argue, it's pretty much equivalent to a hurricane, which is why I put sweet hurricane. So, you know, the sweetness from the love between you two, but then the hurricane, so it's a bit of a contrast of love and hate kind of thing, but can be quite relatable in some relationships nowadays. So yeah, that's kind of what it's about. And I wanted to make sure the video was memorable by, you know, smashing up the grand piano. I thought, oh, the piano looks nice to sat there, but what can I do to make it memorable? Oh, let's smash it up. So thankfully the piano was going to be going, it was broken anyway, it was going to be going to the tip. So I was lucky in finding that one and making it happen in my video.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bit of good fortune that you made use out of the piano then.
You know.
Classic. Yeah, I've got a good word for you, tempestuous. Could that be what the song's about, a tempestuous relationship?
Yes,
Stormy.
I think so. Yeah, it's really just that kind of, you know, it's the real parts of the relationships, you know, that the parts which, you know, we'd rather not talk about kind of thing. That very volatile moment in those times leading up to an argument, you know, your partner's just got in from the days in a foul mood, and you've got an issue with something and none of you are talking about it, but you know, like there's the tension in the room and you're just like ready to blow up on each other, and then but you still love each other dearly at the same time. So there's sweet hurricane for you.
Yeah. I guess that's the price you pay, like living with people. You know, when you're in a relationship, you're living with that person 24/7, so it can get a bit challenging, I guess.
Yeah, but I think it's, you know, it's about being vulnerable as well with each other. I think it's quite healthy to have an argument every now and again. But yeah, maybe not smashing up a grand piano, but it was more for the creative effect, I promise.
Yeah. So people can check out the music video to that. Just type in "RARA Sweet Hurricane" on, you know, say YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. Or you can follow my social handles on everything, which is at Sounds Like RARA. So you can find me on, you know, TikTok, Instagram, X or Twitter, whatever you call it now, and YouTube, all at Sounds Like RARA. And I've actually got a website, which is kind of like the landing page for everything, which is raraofficial.com. You can also find my merchandise on there as well, which is opened this week actually, so you can find the merchandise button on there, and then everything to do with RARA in RARA land, basically.
That's amazing. I mean, when you say RARA, for people who may not have discovered you before, you're not going to forget that word in a hurry, are you? It kind of sticks in the head, RARA, like Lady Gaga, maybe.
Yeah, that's right, like RARA.
Yeah.
RARA. Yeah. I get that a
lot. So this single, Sweet Hurricane, I guess it's a good proud moment for you. And on the flip side to it, it's an up tempo track and puts you in a good mood. As you say, it's creating that new retro sound. Sounds from, you know, yesteryear, but bringing it, you know, in a modern way, and a touch of Southern Soul as well. Southern Soul.
Yeah. I mean, I love soul, like I mentioned before, and you know, my voice is quite soulful as well. I actually just went to Memphis a few times in the last 6 months to record some more music and to write some more music over there with a producer called Boo Mitchell. Now, Boo Mitchell has worked with likes of like Bruno Mars. He got Record of the Year with Uptown Funk, which everybody knows. But he also worked a lot with Al Green. And it was actually their band who were my recording band for some of the material which I've written there. And actually, they are the recording band for my next single on September the 6th. And actually, Christina Aguilera's drummer, which was a bit random.
Wow. You're in good company there.
Yeah, I know.
Great company.
So I'm kind of like, you know, it took me 6 days to get into that studio. You know, he was fully booked, this producer in this studio. And I was like, I need you to do this song with me. Please, can you squeeze me in? And he was like, no. And then I just kept going on and on. So I rang him like 6 days straight to get me in the studio. And then finally I get a message saying you're in 10 till 4 tomorrow. So I I ended up going down Music Highway from Nashville, and then ended up in Memphis, southern Memphis, at Royal Studios with this producer and that band. So it's an amazing story. Like, it was all meant to be.
Yeah. Sure. Like Southern Soul, I guess it's the southern states, isn't it? Like Alabama, Virginia. Test my
Yeah, like,
geographical knowledge here, but yes, I know what you mean
yeah.
exactly.
We didn't actually record Sweet Hurricane in Memphis. We recorded that in England, but you know, the influences and where I seem to keep ending up, like in America especially, it all kind of seems to gel together, that kind of influence and that sound. So I can see, you know, where it comes from, definitely.
And you can tell us a strong song is when you repeat it. Replayable is a word, and of course, Sweet Hurricane does that.
Oh, fabulous! Yes, I know. I've had a few people, you know, do that. Someone's doing a Zumba dance now, like a Zumba choreography, which I'm excited to see. And I've had a couple of fitness instructors put that song to their workouts as well. So it's and a few kids as well. The kids love it because they can dance around to it. But yeah, the reception from it has just been amazing. Like, I mean, I'm astounded really of how well it's doing. YouTube especially, we're on 70,000 views. TikTok, we've got, you know, 500k on my last video at the moment. It seems to be doing quite well in Indonesia, funnily enough. So and America. So that's really, do you know what, everybody that's listened to it shared it, supported it, liked it, told people about it. I mean, it's just, you know, thank you so much. It's just been incredible so far. I can't wait for the next one.
Well done, you. And when you say like Great Britain, I know we've got such a great musical history, but when you think about us as just an island, the world's a big place where music can reach, as you say, just named loads of countries. Like, people just worry about UK, but you know, they should like broaden their horizons, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I ended up in Nashville a few times recording, and it was actually Memphis which really brought the soul out in my music. So I think it's really important as an artist to really kind of delve into, you know, different places, different cultures, to find what works for you, because some musicians in different areas will work better for your soul and your music. You just know, it feels a bit like magic. It's that kind of like, you know, that gut feeling where it just feels really good. And it's kind of what happened to me in Memphis, was just that everything just seemed so like perfect almost. So you know, I know my tribe kind of thing now. So it's been an amazing journey. But I do say that for music artists, it's a never-ending journey. Like, you're constantly developing, you're constantly meeting people. You know, there's different successes along the way. Like, you know, I don't really believe in failure, and if you did call it failure, then I just think those storms just really, you know, they help you write more, they help you improve your music. And it's I think it's important to have a bit of both, actually, because that's what inspires you.
Exactly. There's so many avenues to go down on so many levels, but as long as you're enjoying it, maybe making a living out of it, you know, that's what it's all about. Don't worry about anyone else.
Exactly. Yeah.
All good, all good. And one of your other singles as well, I just wanted to briefly touch on. Let me have a look. Oh yeah, Sign Your Name as well. I know that song from the 80s, Terence Trent D'Arby.
Yeah.
And that's done really well on streaming services, that over 1 million, etc., etc. And did you really want to recapture this record, like put your own interpretation on it, you know, kind of make a dancey hit?
I think the idea behind that song was to, you know, hit the dance genres, to see how well the song would do in the dance genre. And you know, it was a really successful campaign. I mean, I'm not a dance artist, I can sing dance, but I think it's good to, like, you know, as part of your demographic, I think it's good to dip into these different genres of music, especially in the dance world, because it's just so broad all over the world. And I think that was the reason behind that song. It was a bit of kind of like, oh, let's kind of try this. And it was actually a few producers that really liked my voice, and they said, oh, what do you think about us doing a remix for this? And I kind of agreed. I thought, okay, I love the song, and I haven't got anything to lose. And you know, I had another song coming out at the time, which actually got delayed, which was actually this song, just because I had a turnaround in my circumstances. I actually went independent for management. I had some management, but I'm actually totally independent. And you know, I put my own team together in the last few months, which is why it was all delayed. So and then I released Sweet Hurricane through my own record label, Reno Records. So the whole point of that song was, you know, just to kind of see how it would do, and it went really, really well. And I've got another version of that coming out soonish, maybe in a few weeks, maybe a couple of months time. It was actually the RARA version of it in Nashville. It's a live version, so look out for that one, guys.
Nice. I like Terence Trent D'Arby. He reminded me a lot of Prince back in the time, you know, that era, like soulful and
He
R&B.
does have that vibe. Yeah, I mean, I think his album was released something like, is that 1982 or something? I think it was, with that song on, Sign Your Name. So yeah, I mean, that's, you know, it's an old song, but it's a very soulful R&B song, and you know, it connects with me and my voice. I like singing it, so I thought, yeah, why not? Let's just do a remix of it, see how it does.
As you say, like, you know, we've talked some about the artists as well, and the songs. There's no date on them. That they're timeless, aren't they? That they sound fresh to this very day.
Yeah, and I think it's good to like modernize things, because you know, you want people to still be interested in you know, the listening to your music in modern time. Like I mean, there's a market out there for everybody, for 60s music, 70s music, and so on. But like in the dance world, it is quite, you know, it's a worldwide huge market. So which is, and it's more likely to get playlisted and things like that, which is a whole different story. So yeah, I think the aim with my music is to bring some of those 60s influences back, but in a very modern twist kind of thing, just to keep it relevant for today's market.
Brilliant. Do you play any instruments yourself, like on stage? Do you like to have a go on, you know, a play?
I play piano. I actually write songs with piano, but I wouldn't say I'm Mozart. But I have written quite a lot of my songs through, you know, just basic chords and stuff on the piano. I have played on stage with piano before, but to be honest, I am more of a, you know, I like to be really, really in the audience. I like to be very connected to the audience and have my full kind of attention on them as a performer as well as a singer.
Cool.
You know, sometimes, you know, a lot of people. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just going to ask you. Speaking of piano players, you met Jules Holland not so long ago. How was that encounter experience?
Oh, I love Jules Holland. He's like my hero. I think he's absolutely brilliant, and it is actually one of my dreams is to perform on this show. So if you're listening, Jules, I'm here, ready.
Well, we'll tag him in.
Sorry.
We'll tag him in the interview.
Absolutely.
Why not?
I would love to do that. And I've met him a few times now. And the last time I met him was at Yamaha Music in London. I was actually watching some of my friends play, who were playing, their band was on after he played on one of the pianos in there. And they were kind of just like doing like a Yamaha promotion. And oh, he was brilliant. And, you know, I went over and said, oh, I really liked the song you played and stuff. And I said, oh, do you mind if we have a photo? And he's actually been working with Boo Mitchell, who is my producer in Memphis. And so there's a big connection there. And then you know, it's got to be me in that room one day. I can just feel it. Come on, Jules, give us a ring.
Show my age here, but I remember when it was in Squeeze up the junction.
Yeah, God, oh my goodness, I do remember that band.
Right, and I think just one more to go. Oh yeah, like social medias, like obviously say you're on TikTok, YouTube, just type RARA RARA.
Yeah, sounds like RARA.
Brilliant. All right then, thank you very much for chatting with me today, and we'll get your new single on now on my show. Thanks for your contribution
Oh, that's
to my show.
amazing. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again,
Yeah,
Dan.
see you
Thank you.
soon.